There were 3 divers that were noodling on Red River. This has been probably 10 or 12 years ago. Only 2 of them came back. They don't know what happened to the third one. Never found him. Johnny Davis.
What do you do aside from hunting?
Now, I retired from Horseshoe after April the 20th, 23. Sat around for 5 months, got bored. They called me, wanted to come back, so I told them I'd work 2 days. Work Friday night and Saturday night from 10 to 6, but I'm usually off every morning by 4. I'm qualified with the Sheriff's Office as a distinguished expert. No brag, just fact.
Good for you.
I even got the badge at home to prove it.
Where do you live?
Blanchard, Louisiana.
You like it?
It's okay, kind of.
How long you been there?
Oh, God, 33 years.
30 years? Did you go to high school there?
No, I'm from Tree City, Louisiana, but nobody knows where that's at, so I just say between Vivian and Oil City.
What's that, north?
North Caddo Parish.
North Caddo Parish?
I went to North Caddo High School. Okay. We went out to bait the hog traps, and we went to the first one, baited it up, baited the second one. Decided we'd go around to put some corn out at our backwoods deer stand. On the way down there, we saw 4 deer jump up and run. So I left off the 4-wheeler, left it running, walked on up through the woods, looked out across the woods, and I saw one standing there, so I shot it and I gave it to him. I already had 4 in the freezer. I didn't need a 5th one.
Jeez. Is deer hunting season
No,
over?
it goes until the end of the month, but Saturday's the last day of gun season. Then you got a week of primitive firearm, and then next Sunday is the last week, and that's all archery season.
Been that way forever?
Oh, yeah.
The regulations?
Mm-hmm. In Louisiana. We open up season October the 1st for bow and arrow, and then the next to the last Saturday starts the primitive firearms, and the last Saturday of October is regular gun season, and it runs to the end of January.
Johnny's informing the world. Oh,
I saw. I went.
Do you arch? Do you do the archery?
I do it all.
The automatic one?
Well, I got a regular compound bow. I've got 2 crossbows, and then I got an assortment of other guns.
Oh, you're a fisher.
Oh, yeah.
God. Are you fishing in between? Or?
I went fishing with my son on Cross Lake.
Cheating.
No, I don't throw a net. The nets around here are strictly for bait fish. You can't fish with them.
Yeah, the one I saw you post, one of them you posted, that was a group of them, gang of them. Do you throw any back?
Small ones. But, the small catfish usually taste better than the big ones.
What about those giant ones? What do they do when they
noodling?
Use their
they call it noodling. You stick your hand in his mouth and grab a hold of something back there and pull him out of the mud.
You're not interested in that?
No. I catch enough of them.
Dangerous. I wonder how many people catch a snake.
Or alligator. There were 3 divers that were noodling on Red River. This has been probably 10 or 12 years ago. Only 2 of them came back.
No.
They don't know what happened to the third one. Never found him.
When was this?
It's been 10 or 12 years ago or more.
You think that's a newspaper article?
It might be. I read it somewhere, but I don't remember where. But, it's been a long while back. I couldn't tell you for sure how long ago.
They were noodling.
Scuba noodling. They had the scuba gear on. So they were able to go underwater and feel around in all the cliffs and wedges and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing that too. So that's not interesting.
We had a underwater welder come under Horseshoe. They welded pinholes up that pop out in the boats. And he came out from under the boat, came running up the rocks to his truck, stripping off his scuba gear. Somebody asked him what he was doing up here. He said, "You need to be down there welding." He said, "I ain't never going there again. Jack Benyon ain't got enough money to pay me to go back under this boat." He said, "What happened?" Well, they wear these headlamps so they can see underwater. And they're really bright, but you can only see like 3 feet because of the murky water. He said he felt something bump his shoulder, and he turned around, and he said all he could see was a catfish mouth open doing this, and said it looked like it was big enough to swallow him. So he came out from under there. Catfish don't quit growing as far as I know. As long as they're in big open water, they just keep growing.
Why hasn't anyone caught one here?
They have. I've seen 100-pound catfish come out of this river.
I'd like to see one of those fishing shows come around here, and I haven't seen it, where they would follow someone.
There was a man that was fishing under the railroad track. Well, that one that was 90 pounds, that guy caught, he was from here to that wall right there.
He caught one here.
Under the railroad trestle down between Horseshoe and Alec Creek.
I wonder what's the record now.
I don't remember, but I looked it up here a while back. It's pretty good size.
Jeez. What about bass?
I bass fish some. You sound like my son. That's his favorite. My favorite fish around here is white perch. So they're both game fish. Catfish, and there's certain fish they consider trash fish, like catfish, gar, buffalo, carp, stuff like that, which some of those I think are pretty good too. Um, but game fish, you're not allowed to shoot them with a bow and arrow, whereas trash fish you can. I like bass, but the bass, most of the time, if you catch them, that's a fillet fish. They're too big to fry, too thick. And my son likes them. Of course, he likes fillets, and his wife won't eat anything but fillets. Scared of the bones. But like I said, I like my fish whole on the bone. It just tastes better to me.
Crappie and bass fish is good steamed. Not fried, but steamed. Simple soy sauce and oil and green onions. That's the best.
I hadn't had that. I'm going to have to try that someday.
God, this is so good. With ginger.
Ginger?
Yeah, shredded ginger on top.
My buddy, he turned 89 in December. He likes all his fish fillet. So the piece of fish that's left has still got some meat on the bones. So I was taking those, cutting the head off, and taking that skeleton with that meat left on it, and I put it in a pot and boiled it off of there, and mixed all this stuff in, and I did something wrong. I didn't do it right.
Depends on the seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
A fish head with what seasoning?
Well, I didn't have the head. I just had the skeleton with the meat on it.
Okay. Well, you were getting
white perch.
You were trying to get your collagen.
Well, I don't think I did something right because it was nasty.
Ginger and catfish.
Well, you got to take into consideration too that I was in Vivian, and the Walmart there at that time did not have all the stuff you want to get to. I mean, the recipe that I was looking at and the stuff they had on the shelf.
Preferred herbs is kaffir, lemongrass, and ginger. That'll take that stuff out, whatever it is.
What was the first one?
Kaffir leaves. They're considered lime leaves, but not necessarily.
Oh.
Lemongrass and ginger. It's 3 go-to.
Where you get all that at Asian stores?
You can use ginger powder.
The only place I get ginger is Walmart.
I'm just not a green thumb. Yeah.
It's easy to grow. It grows here?
Yeah, because it's rooted.
Oh.
Yeah. But kaffir is tough, you know.
You eat sushi?
I love sushi. Hibachi restaurants, Shogun, that used to be the order. We only had one up until the millennium. Really? Shogun at the corner of 870th.
I've eaten at the one down here at Bass Pro. I can't remember the name of it.
Sushi Co?
Sushi Co, yeah. Sushi Co. Then I've ate at one at Pierre Bourget Mall. Ate at one on Uri Drive.
Are you eating the sushi with the raw fish?
Some of it was, some of it was cooked. Now, these places like China Flag, China Walk, that's not real sushi, but I still like it.
It looks alike. Good stuff.
I still like it.
Kroger's.
Oh, yeah, I've had theirs.
To me, sushi, as long as it has rawness in it, that's sushi. That California roll.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny bit for what, $6.95 or $10?
It's way overpriced.
We make it.
The same stuff.
I just don't sell it here.
Do you sell real sushi here?
No, I don't. I make it for myself.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
Since 2012.
Really?
Yes. March, it'll be 13.
My next step is going to be start back fishing. I bought me another boat. And that's the one me and my son took out for the first time Friday before last. And then he went back out in it. He took his stepson and his stepson's girlfriend on Caddo. But they only caught 2 fish on Caddo. I don't know if he just didn't go to the right spot or weather change and stuff like that affects the bites. I don't use that. I'm a old school fisherman.
Well, you've been fortunate because whatever you were posting, it's like a gang of fish.
I'm old school. I had my daughter's ex went with me one day on Cross Lake, and we were cruising across the lake. And he said, "Well, we're going to stop at." I said, "I'll let you know." We're going on the Cross Lake, and I say, "I smell fish right here. This is where we're going to stop at." I was just joking with him. I can tell by looking at the water where I want to fish at. So I shut the boat down, and we got set up, started catching fish. Immediately he said, "I kind of smell them now, too." I said, "I ain't never noticed that before." He fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But we caught about 100 catfish that day.
Jeez.
Now, me and Jamie was fishing one day, and I thought we probably had 75 or 80 catfish in the box already, and I was ready to go. He said, "Well, as soon as I lose my bait, I'll be ready." He caught 5 or 6 more catfish, finally lost his bait. We got home, we had 125 catfish in the box.
That's on top of what you throw back in.
And plus, some of them broke my line and got away.
They have a station at home.
Oh, yeah.
Outdoor sink.
They've got a fish cleaning table with the running water and all that in the backyard.
See, that's what makes it worth it, you know.
Maybe changing jobs Friday and Saturday. But I got an offer from an ex-deputy I used to work with at the sheriff's office to work security on airplanes. We'll find out about it sometime between now and the end of the month.
The local airport, the small one or the
regional airport, the big one.
The big one.
But he said it's short flights, 3-4 hours one way.
You'll be considered an employee there, right? So you'll get the benefits.
I'm hoping. That way, if I want to fly over to Philippines or somewhere, I'd get a discount.
Why the Philippines?
Well, my daughter-in-law wants us to go over there with her.
That's your daughter-in-law? She's from the Philippines?
She's from not Manila, but somewhere close to it, and I can't say the name of it.
You have one son?
3.
3?
I got 3 older boys and then 2 younger daughters.
There's Irish in you.
I got Dutch-Irish. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just know I got a whole big old mix.
Oh, yeah.
Native American, Dutch-Irish, English, some other stuff I'd have to look back up.
So you're a blackjack dealer, a mechanic,
fisherman,
a homemaker, interior. Didn't you do? Are you going to take the airport job?
If it comes through. This is what happened. My son, my next oldest son, works at Bearing Service. He was talking to me on the phone. And Lonzo, the deputy I used to work with at the sheriff's office, comes in to talk to my son. He said, give me just a second. Lonzo, I'm on the phone with my dad. He said, give me that phone. I need to talk to him. Oh, country talking boy. And he said, hey, man, what are you doing now? You still working at the boat? I said, yep. He said, you don't go to work with me? I said, doing what? Flying on airplanes. I said, doing what flying on airplanes? He said, security. I said, what's the pay? He said, $50 an hour. I said, when we leave? He said, well, we won't find out till January. This was like 6 months ago. There's supposed to be 4 men retiring, or 4 people, they hire men and women, retiring in January. And he said, as soon as they get everything finalized, they'll start hiring, and we're on the list. And so it's supposed to be me and him and my ex-lieutenant, which she retired captain, a female. And she's like 70-some-odd years old. But anyway, there was a 4th guy that he had to consider, but he didn't want to do it. And he didn't have many details then, but as it came through, as time passed, I kept getting a little bit more. He wants to do the short flights, which 3 or 4 hours going and 3 or 4 hours coming back, same day thing. But if you take a long trip and you have to go, you fly from Shreveport to California or wherever, and you have to spend the night, they pay for the room. No food or nothing, but for the room. And then you fly back the next day. Now, if you fly out today on a short trip and back, you do not work the next day. You might work the day after. So it's like 2 days, maybe 3 days, 1 week, and 2.
Okay, so you'll be on a flight, like a U.S. Marshal.
Sort of, but no.
They're not using U.S. Marshals anymore. They're using officers.
Well, it's private security. The guy that runs this outfit is an ex-deputy we used to work with. So that's why he hires ex-law enforcement to do what they're doing. $50 an hour.
And a flight?
Just to sit down and read a book.
That is.
I make $50 an hour or more on a boat. Like I got a few hours of this. Like I say, I only work like 10 hours a week most of the time. But a full paycheck here a while back, and the totes, just the tip rate was, I think, $65 an hour. Plus base pay, which I'm $9 an hour, that's what I make. That's a pretty good paycheck when you had a full 80 hours on that.
Hell yeah.
But it normally ranges, with the tips and my base pay, usually around 35 an hour, 35, maybe 40. But I still 50, that's $10 better.
Are you allowed the benefits as a part-time Horseshoe employee?
The only thing I've got there now is my 401k.
Gotcha.
I still contribute.
That is huge.
15% of my paycheck to that.
Check. Anonymous check.
When they first...
That's what I would do if I was a millionaire. I'd just write out anonymous checks.
Oh, tell me about it. When I first started there, they didn't have it. And it was like a year or so, and they finally got it. I was a security then, so I was only doing 6% of my check. And in security, you can feel that 6%.
Okay.
So when I went from there to table games, that 6% was like pennies, the difference in the pay. I said, well, I think I'll up this. So I went to 10, and I looked at that and said, well, that's really not a dent. So let me go to 15. So I started putting 15% of my paycheck in there after about a month or two of dealing. And I should have upped it again, but I didn't. I just left it at 15%. And I've been doing that since 99. And then I retired in 23, but then I went right back to work 5 minutes later. And at 10 hours a week, at 10%, I'm still putting like, I think $75 every 2 weeks in there.
Jesus.
And plus they match 6% at the end of the year. Of course, when Jack Benyon had it, he matched 6% per paycheck. That was nice. But, even at 6% for you, I don't know how they figured if it's 6% of what you contributed altogether.
Right.
Or how they figured.
So it seems like it's add up the same. Let me inquire about that.
It's still, if they contribute anything, it's still better than just what you put in there.
Right. Yeah, because that's the point.
All these people,
right?
All these people asked me how I was accumulating money in there and what I was investing in. I said, well, let me just sit you down, show you portfolio, and you figure it out if you want to do it. So this one girl, Angela, she goes by what I've got, puts it in there. She starts making money. Well, 2 years later, she buys her daughter a new car. And the next thing I know, this other girl, Wanda, wanted to know because she's seen what Angela's doing. So she started doing what I was doing, making money. Well, then we had that stock market crash. Oh, everybody's scared. They're going to either put it in a what's that safe fund they got? I can't remember what it's called right now, where it doesn't make any money, but it doesn't lose any money. So a bunch of them put it in there, stable something. Well, Wanda and Angela took all theirs out. And when you do that, you have to pay a penalty for early withdrawal, and you have to pay the taxes. So you don't get much left. It's not much left by the time you pay that penalty. I said, no, that's not the thing to do. Stock market is never stable. It's up and it's down. It's not a quick thing to make money. You got to leave it in there until you get older, and then just start taking after a certain age, they start sending you a check every year of a percentage of it. Right. So I don't know if it used to be 70 years old. I think maybe a little older. I could draw like $3,500 a month right now off of it if I wanted to. And not be taxed. Well, they tax it before I get it. So if you look at my statements, you'll see the numbers here. One statement, and then the next statement is down here. It's lost $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. He ain't lost it. They transfer it. It comes off your total because they took out that much to buy more stock. And then after 2 or 3 months, instead of it was here, then it's here. Well, now it's here.
So you're a financial advisor too.
Well, it helps.
Okay, Johnny.
So I just left my money. I don't touch it. Right. Everybody else asked me, when are you going to start drawing? I said, well, when
you don't have an emergency need for it, why,
I get a check, she gets a check, and I work 10, 12, 15 hours.
I guess you're not amongst the commoners, when it comes to emergency withdrawal. You don't, which it's nice to be in that position.
I have withdrawn from it. I took $11,000 out several years ago and bought a brand new motorcycle. I took out, I don't remember how much to help buy her truck. She bought another truck. Then I took out $3,500 and I bought a boat. So I'm not doing it anymore. That's it. I'm not taking any more money out of here. Well, I've already got, what is that, 10, 12, about 15,000 I've already taken out of there. Then she needs, I took out 30,000 for dental work for her. And that was my last withdrawal. I haven't taken any more out since then. And everybody says, why don't you? I said, because I don't have to. The more I have in there, the more I have buying power.
Is his family asking you? Because it's really no one's business,
No. Just people I work with. Why are you working? You don't have to work. You got that 401.
So they're just assuming that. I don't see you as just putting it out there.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I can buy whatever I want to buy. I've got no brag or anything, but I've got enough money to do what I want to do. I've got my stock fund. I got a savings account.
People could imagine being in your position. Me.
But everybody says,
it's rare. Everyone around me in the business of withdrawing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had that same thing up till a certain age, and then after that, after stuff starts finally getting paid for, and you're able to take that money that you was paying house notes and all that with, you can kind of use that for spending money. You don't have to worry so much about it. Yeah. And I haven't bought anything on credit. I don't know how long now. It's been a long time.
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. Even if I was in your shoe, I wouldn't.
Well, it's good to have credit in case you need it. And if I ever need it, I'm probably going to be in trouble because I never buy it. And, you know, if you don't have. That's why
most of us are in trouble.
But if you don't have a credit record, then you can't get credit.
Right.
But these people ask me about why I don't draw this money. I said, I didn't work all these years and put all that money back for me. When I die, if my wife has to have money, that's her money. She do what she wants to with it. She has to have a car, get a car. She's already got a house, it's paid for. If she wants to sell it and go somewhere else, she'll do that. If she goes anytime soon after I go, well, I got 5 kids. They'd probably be glad to get the money. My friend, she's Vietnamese at Horseshoe. Her name's Van Harvey, I think. Anyway, she brought me some real Thai peppers for seed. I don't remember where I put them. And you cannot find them around here. What they sell for Thai peppers is not Thai pepper.
It's confusing too. Like, even when you see the Thai pepper, I'm being told that's not Thai pepper. It is Thai pepper.
So how big is a Thai pepper normally? Because the ones she had were they're like this big.
Yeah, the original Thai pepper is about this. You know, it's red and slim.
And it's hot.
Yes, it's considered hot.
It's not like a habanero or a ghost pepper, but
that's yellow peppers. Have you ever seen the Thai peppers that are yellow?
The only ones I've ever seen were red.
Thai pepper is the red one we're talking about.
Daddy had a plant once. It's called a bird's eye pepper, and it was a bush. I mean, this big around, like, and had all kinds of different colored peppers around it, but they're like little balls, and extremely hot.
Yeah.
And there was a Mexican couple in Vivian that used to come out. He'd tell them get all they wanted because a handful was all he ever used. And they'd pick them all off, and then they'd make tamales. And they'd bring him a dozen hot ones and a dozen medium ones. So, and when I get my tamales, frozen ones, I do like you was talking about. I got a pot, and I got this grate that is actually the thing I put in my toaster oven.
Extra mile, yeah.
And I put that on top of that and steam them.
Wow.
Heat them up with steam. It's a lot better. Well, I appreciate y'all listening to me. This is Johnny Davis, and just catch me next time. Bye, y'all.